Так, ну что ж, продолжаем гонять финальную мужскую фантазию. Ну что, погнали, продолжение по игре 38%, ссылка на 10 часов. Бля, погнали. Я не замечал этой статистики. То есть за 10 часов я прошел 38%, потому что я, ну, спидранил, грубо говоря. Всякие побочки не делал, не изучал локации, там, особенно в городах. Скипал. Возвращением Сид. Да, теперь мы Сид, напомню. Что прошлый Сид был попущен. И прошло еще 5 лет. Или сколько там, или 3. Не, вроде 5. Сколько Клаве получается лет? 13, 5, это 18. На момент ему было, наверное, 16. 16 плюс 18, сколько это? 28, 34, да? Ну, плюс-минус. В общем, в районе 30-ника. 30-38 где-то ему. Нашей скуфине, наверное, 28-32. Пока непонятно, наш Клайв ее выебал или нет. Вот это меня беспокоит на данный момент. Это главный вопрос, который меня беспокоит. Где наш брат, всякое такое, это мало такое. Мало меня волнует. А скуфиня ходит не выебал. Вот это печально. Так, что у нас тут? Да, идем. Наказывать. Кубку наказывать. Че, бабка еще жива, бля, еще 5 лет прошло.
There must be better places than the hull of a gutted airship to bury your nose in a book.
Yet this is where she's chosen to be. And I'm sure she has her reasons.
Ой, блядь.
I'd trust I'm not intruding.
А, это не бабуля, это какая-то молодая соска.
Back from your mission? I'm beginning to think your habit of surviving cannot be attributed to luck alone.
One might say the same of you, Vivian Ninetails.
I'll have you know that only 4 attempts have been made on my life. So, to what could it be that you've come for one of... Very well then. To absolutely well, but the...
Меня мало интересует ситуация в мире, в истории. Я иду и попускаю. Это мой путь. Кляева Росфилл, да? Текучее знание о мире. Что это такое? А, тут еще типа можно всякие такие типа пометки выбирать. Но мне не надо, я и так все знаю.
For which reason she has continued to wage war on her rival across the strait, hoping to claim less blackened pastures. But Odin would sooner pawn his sword than Waloed relinquish Ash. And the Empire pays dearly for every blade of grass bent beneath Sambraquois boots. Little wonder then that Sylvester set his sights on the crystalline dominion, an altogether easier target, possessed of no less ether. It was 5 years ago.
5 лет назад, ну да, это было.
With the destruction of Drake's head, that the Empire made its move, subjugating its theretofore neutral neighbor.
Так, в общем, перезахватил это говно.
Legitimately claim to be the center of the world. Certainly, there is no better place to stage an army. From there, the Holy Empire's reach spans the Twins. The non-aggression treaty was the only thing keeping them in check. But if they truly broke the pact without provocation, it is only a matter of time before others reply in kind. The Holy Empire, the Dalmekian Republic, the Kingdom of Waloed, and of course, our friends in Yaran. Who will be left standing, I wonder, when the last drop of blood is spilled?
Не важно, кто выживет, кто нет. Главное, чтобы это поехавшая на драконах не зашла на трон. Или это не здесь.
Now, as to the matter of payment for today's lesson, complete a simple errand for me, and we shall consider ourselves even.
Right.
Return this volume to old tomes in the shelves. Tell him it was adequate.
Так тихо, я гейпад распутал. Что он там хотел, я не знаю, не важно. В общем, углубляемся в сюжет пока. Аниме пока на этом заканчивается. Ну, здесь аниме не так много, то есть если по факту посмотреть, то там каждые часа 2 точно есть топ-аниме, а то и чаще. Мини-аниме. Так что уверен, что сегодня что-нибудь аниме будет какое-нибудь.
Lawsman Harpocrates.
Well,
И да, у Клайва теперь метки.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours book. Would that I could do that said, but
Please.
I fear it is mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still like
I'll see what I...
you are. Hush.
Школьники какие-то до Клайва доебались. А может и
Yeah,
его,
we'll be back
вряд ли.
soon. I should get some rest while I can.
Вернитесь в свою комнату. У меня и комнатик своя здесь есть. Ну это, блядь, нормально, не в какой-то пещере теперь живем.
Not back a blink and you're already off solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself.
Это она мне, блядь, морду
And it's
подбила,
all thanks to
получается,
you,
да?
Taya.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav.
Надеюсь, она меня
Otto left
вылечит
it on your
лицо, не
desk.
хочу шрамом ходить
Not
таким.
stolus. All right. I'll have a look.
Типа, против шрама ничего не имею, но он именно там, где клеймо. Больно палевно.
What could Gav have thought worthy of a letter?
Have you been to the toll? I hear a new ship.
Почему она в моей комнате живет, да? Стена воспоминаний. Клятва. Ну все, мне больше не о чем вспоминать в этой жизни.
Otto was
Здравствуй.
here earlier with a letter from Gav. He left it on your desk.
У меня еще и свой столкер есть. Найс. Нормально разжился Клейв за эти 5 лет. Так. Я понял, я прочел.
What does Gav have to say?
Что сказал Клейв, я не читал.
The Republican
Я
armies
только сделал
will
вид, что
march,
прочел.
leaving Randalar in Hugo Kuka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good
Так, в общем,
news.
кубка
then.
обороняется, надо на нее напасть.
It's more than that. This is our chance, the one we've been waiting for.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from
Давай ты будешь
yourself.
призывать Айкону тогда.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
Она так, походу, и
This mission
призывает,
of
да?
ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become
Так,
abundantly clear.
в чем она уверена, рассказывай.
Crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain.
Значит, он
war
теперь уверен,
after
что кристалл
war,
это
loss
говно.
upon loss. And now
Как ипотека.
they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
В чем она довольна.
But
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to
Джошуа
waste
вам
such a
по факту
precious
2
gift.
шанса дал. Он второй раз задефал вас. Хуй знает, где он сейчас теперь. Он, наверное, злодеем станет, его поглотит этот злодей. Еще в таком духе.
He was there.
Он был там.
It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima.
Он слышал, блядь, это охуенно. Рош, принеси водички, братику, с похмелья. Блядь, это перо, а не водичка.
If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does.
Разъебем его. Эту ультиму. Так. Винишка.
To a world without mother crystals. To Sid.
А если теперь это он, значит за себя пьет. Ну, это нормальный тост. Чисто мужской, тупо за себя. О, тем временем братан тоже модные шмотки раздобыл. Соску свою все водит с собой. Подрос малютка. Бороду только не хочет отращивать, как старший.
And so the North is lost.
I knew that the blight spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows.
Где он ходит? Почему он к брату-то не
Tell me,
подойдет?
brother, are our efforts in vain?
Есть какая-то замутка в этом. Смысл.
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean
Да, блядь.
to intrude.
Not at all. We were just
Она уже
discussing
привыкла, она
strategy.
уже типа понимает, что ей ничего не светит.
It's
Кляева.
Martha,
У
from
нее
you.
есть только бой
She's
его.
gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well.
Так, Марта пропала. Так похуй. Взрывающая буря.
What would make Martha leave the rest?
Блять, а где-то здесь показано. Мне выходить не надо. Да, вот сюда вот можно выйти. Блять, или нельзя? Опытов мало, блин, сложно понять, где я нахожусь, когда начинаешь вертеть камерой. Еще прикид поменять. А, тут еще повтор этапа есть какого-то. Не надо мне. А нового не прибавилось. Я оружие может поменять. Пускай с языком пламени гоняет. Или модный молодежный меч.
What do we know, Otter? Some lads from the Bloodless caught that.
Пойдем, спасем ее. А куда это? А, это вот так вот. Поехали. Облумение глянуть.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
Let's get you to a physical, shall we?
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need... And it appears he was...
They're saying the Imperials descended like a storm. No, Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but... all our efforts got...
Any idea where?
В общем, имперцы схватили Марту.
To the Abbey, sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good.
You do the same.
Очищение, бля. Поехали, поехали, готов. Очистить, бля. Имперцев от их жизней.
Cole is right.
Имперцы.
That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Мать-то мы... А, мы ж так мать-то и не попустили. Надо, блин, найти мать, попустить ее. Да она там что-то мутит, мне кажется, дальше.
If those Orsons touch an arrow on Martha's head, oh, kill them all.
Так, давайте я умение сразу гляну. Может, им вкачать. 1600. Огромный урон, 2300 надо. В общем, купим на вот это. Мне кажется, это прям пиздатая тема. Прям как ебануть, прям как ёбнуть. Будет тупо кайф.
Look. Up ahead. Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn black shields, that's what happened.
Черных
The
щитах.
Black Shield.
The bastards
Good.
caught wind. The abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds. Poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to...
Вообще работяги задефали ее.
Then, Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn?
I think so.
Да не за что, ты просто здесь сидела на мосту, могла бы и так давно уже дойти до таверны.
Black Shield. Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one order of
Какой-то
shields
Black
in the
Shield,
area,
да?
and they fought to defend all her citizens.
Seems a step too far, even for the Empire.
А что эта хуйня вообще дает? Я не читал тогда. А какой-то демо, типа, проходит, когда их пизжу. И... Кира топит. Промазали.
Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
No.
Ушли все.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
Так вот, Блэк Щелды.
Shall they be punished? Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
Доспехи у вас прикольные, парни, конечно. Это да.
Speak those words. Have you no honor?
Clive.
Они нам не ровня. Ну, наверное, да. Все же. Потому что... Потому что они так не умеют. А я умею.
Nice try.
Waken winds!
Клоуны какие-то.
I think so.
Задание выполнено. Поздравляю.
I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive.
Разве настоятель там не мертвый валялся, или это не он был?
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him, calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Хуёвые маги были.
He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are.
The Black Sheep. Rosaria will never tell Martha to beg his aid.
Так, я, кстати, Сид, если что. Типа, может, тоже мне помолиться. Сид, где ты? Сид!
Clive.
Он же умер.
He's gone.
Вот так вот, блять. Не надо было отворачиваться от него.
We've laid the abbot to rest, but the bearers...
Что это?
No,
Настоятель?
They knew the fate that awaited.
Martha said they rose from their beds.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Reddick's jump. If the abbot was still with...
Хочешь трупы в реку скинуть? Мне кажется, это не особо хорошая идея, как по мне.
Cole and I will remain here and see.
Пойди, мы эти будут сейчас имперцев расчленять и закапывать. Жесть, блин, кровожадная. Ну ладно. Пойдем отнесем останки. Вот такую музыку. Там сейчас и перцев расчленяет. Джилл и какой-то чел. Я пройду здесь? А хуй бы там. Торгал, как нам то попасть? Я понимаю, что нам туда как. А, теперь понимаю. У нас есть карта точно, знаете. Что за хуйня? Рейман ранг С. 5000 за него дают. Грозные цели. Какие-то задания можно делать. 25 левел. Думаешь, он заметил, как, блядь, этот? Я думаю, оно нас заметило, оно нас пиздит уже. Не нравится мне вот это вот. Шликостовывает. Дед кастует. Мало. Грозная цель, это грозный. Это грозная цель, хотел сказать, что это грозное говно, и в итоге ваншот. У меня фулл хп вроде как было, я от всего уклонялся даже, плюс-минус.
Try not to move. You'll only make it worse.
Интересно, блять. Просто гроша нет случайно, обхилки купил бы.
What are you after?
Они хуже моих так-то. У них защита больше действовать будет дольше.
Much obliged. There you go. Much obliged. Take care out there, eh?
Да. Что-то я, знаете, блять, расстроен. Может, его обойти лучше, хотя, блин. Мне кажется, его надо убить. Только я не понял, что меня убило. Вот это его ульта или что? Попробуем еще пофайтиться. Буду осторожнее.
There's no turning back. Too slow.
Вот это мне нравится.
Nice try. Nice try. To me, flames! Fire and flame! Nice try. Too slow. All yours, Torgal. Too slow.
Разъеман. Тупо на скилле я прям запотел, правда, но разъебал.
You didn't see that coming.
Почему?
That must be the bridge.
Что-то я не вижу здесь гигатечения. Ладно. Выкидываем.
So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
Рыбки хоть покушают.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so.
Закопала имперцев.
What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made.
Зажгли на костре.
It's more than they deserve. We should go back.
Живых или мертвых?
All right.
Не важно.
Best off staying where we are for now, I reckon. The boys from the garrison.
No one survived.
I'm sorry. Before he...
Doesn't mean I won't. Cole said you cast their remains. But it should have been me.
How?
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the war. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages and I assumed it was all just nonsense, nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. Which begs the question.
Так, зачем они это делают? Я согласен.
My mother obviously has a hand in this.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job.
Возможно, она знает, что Клайв жив и хочет его упустить.
I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten... Oh, before I forget, Astolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav...
Then we must as well.
We can stay... No.
Так, ладно, удачи тебе. Мы помогли, дальше самое. Надо к матушке наведаться, все-таки уже пора. Мы 17 лет не виделись. Она задолжала нам.
Now, where's Gav?
Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So,
you
remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist.
В общем, дед захватил тех бомжей, с которыми у него был союз.
Finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
Well, the two nations beat their shields. The rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals.
В общем, этот хочет дальше кристаллы ебашить.
4 mother crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move.
Не-не, там будет гигабосс сидеть.
And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us,
армия ничего не решает.
There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rosfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait. Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of
Да
course.
ты только узнал, что ли, аля, бля?
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune, along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Там вода, у нас есть ледяная женщина, будет это морозить ее, если что, так что у нас преимущество. Таскать для охотников шепот. Мне не надо, я хочу дальше идти и пиздить всех. Охотой заниматься я чуть не горю желанием на данный момент.
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Потому что дядя не был попущен матушкой. Это он всех типа ебашит.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
Раньше он не почуял
He
это.
does.
Это точно, конечно. Ваше прошлое убежище разъебали.
Such as these are best left to dominance, especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
Что такое бой?
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
А, это где ее насиловали, напомню. 13 лет.
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
Не-не, каждого твоего ёбра искать и убивать мы не будем. Их больно много здесь, я думаю.
To the end.
Боюсь, это непосильные задачи для нас. Для нашего скуфа. О, вперед!
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry.
Тут у матушки столько влияния, главный вопрос.
We visit as many as we can and hear their stories, starting with the village of Amber.
Цветок. Эх, комарики, ладно, пиздим, а.
All yours, Torvald.
Justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would...
Quiet, you! I think we're loyal.
Jill.
Что такое? О,
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which... 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all. For the...
Of course, your lordship. You shall...
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small?
Then they must be here for something else.
это и ищут они.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like them? Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a black shield was
Еще
murdered.
какие-то повстанцы здесь
Empire wants
лютуют.
answers, and what the Empire wants, Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stone.
You seen them?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. At least I think there was a Black Shield. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
If only we were. I might have turned him in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out. Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing, though...
Don't you go telling these strangers... I speak for the people of this village, and you are to leave Amber...
May I at least ask?
I don't know who you are, or what brings you here, but the Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift, but as long as some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, that this village will not become...
Then we shall be on
Согласен, лучше не выебываться. Дед мог бы нас издать. Для пущей уверенности. Сейчас мы им поможем, да?
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosaria would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Пойдем искать.
This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Ой, я.
Ever since the apodatory, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The Mother Crystal's collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
Fire and flame!
Там еще малютки стоят. Паркур. Он гигаохотник вылезет. Или лич очередной. О, щиты.
More of my mother's men.
Blood, Clive.
Кровь. Да ты что, реально? Как ты ее заметила?
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then?
Вопрос не знаю, кто я.
You our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the...
Да, давай. Будешь разъебан сейчас.
Say that again. I'll show you.
Ща, мага, блядь. Клоуны. Пяткой убил тупо, видели? И футболистом с таким ударом, просто пушка. Солдата, закованного в латы, бля. В полет отправляет пяткой.
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The They await you in Old Hill.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
Я не знаю. Я не понял, что он сказал. Но они, кажется, поняли. В общем, идем пиздить босс какого-то. Мини. Я чую. Не смог. Что такое бой?
Santa.
Да. Интересно. Такого еще не было. Типа знает их?
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone?
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
Жило до того темнеет. Это, блять, оно тут всех месяц, мне кажется.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
We're approaching Buick Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith. They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
Петуха бы себе купить. Ездить на нем. Возможно, где-то я пропустил петуха в доп-квестах каких-нибудь начальных.
The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better. That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Так. Работяги хотят пройти.
Have mercy.
Voice-rinsed dogs they are. You can't ignore us forever.
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep.
Better out there than in here.
No, get enough for
Fuck off! Hang the chinless bastards! Those crystals belong to us all!
I said, where were you, filth?
Back to your
I'll cut you down where you stand. Destroy it.
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in. I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus.
We'll find our way into the city there.
Тоннель нужен
If you're
какой-то.
sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
А я могу здесь зайти? Наверное, нет.
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Господи, помоги, куда идти, я не понимаю. Может, куда? Опа.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Бандит какие-то.
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
Реально хотел уйти. Это им лучше бежать отсюда, не мне. Ой, блядь, не вижу. Колонны.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
Это не этот клон, Дар Феникса.
It can't be. I was there when you died. Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Found
Это тот,
it really is you.
который был на болотах с нами.
It is.
О.
So wait.
We can speak inside.
Это живо.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after.
Стражи огня, они те.
Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye, the foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir,
она подарила императору нового наследника.
bearers only seems to have grown.
Ага. То есть я понял теперь, как она там командует.
Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we.
Make ready.
This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be
Да,
on my hands.
удачи, у нас другая цель. Там куда-то дойти надо, я точно помню. Ну или нет.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
Мы типа доминанты, надо было сказать. Умеем там в магию.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
Так.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
Поехали.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buick Bridge and
Охуенный
provoke the
план.
main host at their encampment.
Надежный, как часы.
Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to...
Very good.
As you command.
Это мужская община, заметьте, у них здесь. Чисто бои, собрались вместе. Против всего мира воюют. Поехали.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village, we tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Look at me sideways.
Go along now.
The bastards are lucky I didn't.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
Я, бля, сейчас на команду. Просто идем, врываемся и пиздим. Пиздим магов, вот моя команда.
What is it now? I told you! We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame. Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame!
А мы вам кам покажем. Ну-ка, бой. Тихо, 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 магов, 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 блядь. Вот так вот. Клоуна.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank! Another wyvern to fight their battle for. Too slow.
More dragons.
Worms. The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
All yours, Tommy. Over here. This one.
Вот так вот. О, очередное аниме рыцаря.
Albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
Too slow.
Хуяком его.
So wait.
Found her. There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him?
Да он попущен сейчас будет.
Let's try. Too slow. All yours,
Хера он в прыжке, блин, топором. Слоумо. Победа.
I don't see any more.
Nor do I.
Охуенный план.
The plan worked.
It did. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to them!
Perhaps this will be enough to stop the culling.
Perhaps. She'll move swiftly to see her minions ranked.
And then it will all... I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for her fields rot. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we... Yet be that as it may, it is still our home. And we must fight for it. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once...
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned
Чем
to
дядя
after forming the
финансирует их?
Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
Черная метка. Этих меток уже 1000.
I shall wear it.
Be sure that... If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you.
Их обоих убил, блядь, мой ифрит.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need...
I know.
Вот и порт.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him, and means to string us up himself.
Дядя пришел.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue!
Давай попробуй, дед. У меня меч... Ты что делаешь, блядь, джедай?
You would mock me as well?
А, это он типа троллит его так, да?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to her serene holiness, Saint Sybil, the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Что за аниме он делает?
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge.
В общем, они какие-то ролевики, видимо, были.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy. It's
Да, это твой бой.
You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
Так.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
Уж не полиция.
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster.
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Что-то это жмется как-то, не знаю. Что-то напрягается. Меня это тоже напрягает. Вот корабль наш.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Что такое?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustenus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Monsters.
Чудовище.
When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice.
Так.
Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all.
Да, она пиздит. А недавно к Клайву жалась. Пока он вел себя как скуф. Не замечая этого.
Had become a
Стала
monster.
чудовищем. Она просто пытается его соблазнить, так. Жил. Это неправда. Так. Так, скуф.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive.
Выеби ее.
Do you understand?
Давай. Let's go.
I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
Так, так, так. Клайв, не тут, не так.
I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now,
Так.
let's get some sleep.
Да не надо
The journey back to
высыпаться,
Vladimir is
боже
long,
ты мой,
and there
скуф,
is much
бля.
to tell the others.
Твою налево. Пока версии нужен мод, чтобы главным героем был скуф. Такой прям пивной. И времени... А, нет. Плыли. А, нет, мне убежище надо.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
А куда мне там? Куда? Там плюсик какой-то. Гуглим.
There are new billets being posted every...
Clive! Oh, am I glad to see...
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. Normally, it only takes a couple of drinks to perk him back. Something's getting him down. And it's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about stuff. But I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit?
Давай.
Fine.
Knew you'd understand.
But if he doesn't want to...
All right. Now, he'll wait a bit.
Давай сделаем это говно.
All right, me too. I've been doing my best. The rest, and anyone...
Не
Don't be a
надо.
stranger, eh?
Неудобная база. Там мне больше нравилось. Она была меньше и удобнее.
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady.
Наковальня не нравится.
First, what's it got to do with me? August was worried that something had been weighing on you. I thought you might want to talk about.
I told you not to stick your nose in my business.
Clive just wants to help, innit? Talk to him. You never know, you might feel better for Please, mate.
It's not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of... Made my stuff look like every clumsy. I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. And now every time I reach for my hammer, I'm reminded that I'm there. You got what you came for.
All right.
Надо купить нагрудник ему пиздатый. Хули делать.
I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Like a storm cloud. Didn't think anything could rattle him. Least of all a stupid piece of...
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Something tells me this is only going to go if he has doubts.
Ладно, найдем ему кусок кожи и пускай месит его.
Thank you, Karen. So, it sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance we have of finding our roaming leatherworker.
I'll leave the hunt one.
Good.
Бля, где это? Это в этой части или там? Ой, это грифон нужно какого-то убивать. Ёбана-бобана.
What's the matter? It's where the curse break, just because they can't... Right. The people of Val... Last thing, then perhaps I...
Вот это меня интересует. Как мне из-за того? Взять-то задание или... Или я должен сам его типа искать? Так, западные ворота замка... в пизду, это доп-квест. Ну где у нас там основной? Да. Не пойду никакого грифона охотиться.
Back. What will it be to...
The Iron Kingdom.
You'll soon be setting sail for the mother crystal that rises...
Так. Очередной урок истории.
As you know, the Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does. But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No, the Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the orthodoxy holds the Mother Crystals sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing, a poison no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies. Some 80 years ago in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Justanus, home of Drake's breath, and plucked it from the duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island. And with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity.
Угу. В общем, батя проебал кристалл наш.
The Mother Crystal is
Это
both
все,
the
что я
object
понял
of the
из
Iron Blood's
важного.
worship and their gateway to the continent.
Все,
Make
поехали
from which the
наказывать,
Orthodox
возвращать
regret
кристалл, точнее ломать его.
Not much else to do here. Let's see if Jill's ready.
Typical nobles.
It will be over soon.
You ready?
I think so.
Jill. When you told me you had to come to terms with your past, you weren't talking about destroying Drake's breath, were you?
No. I spoke of Imran, the leader of the Crystalline Orthodox. It's what I need to do to put the past behind me. And I know that I can do it.
Always.
And I'll be beside you, too. We'll bring down all while Sid looks on.
We'll make him proud.
Два скуфа. Так. Поплыли.
Useful trick. Freezing and thawing the spray to make mist. How did you learn to use your powers like this?
The Masters made me do it. When the Crusaders took to the seas, to keep the fleet's movements from prying eyes. I'm fine.
No.
Уже в камере вращаешься.
This may be the only chance I get to go back. My only chance to put things right. I have to do this. Whatever the cost.
Она-то не погибла. Сид-то было понятно, что гуфница она-то не должна.
There she is. The Iron Kingdom's mother crystal.
Drake's breath.
Хера.
Strong currents, sharp rocks, and ether floods. Let's not forget them. This island is a natural fortress.
But safety breeds complacency, allowing a single rowing boat to slip in unseen. The sanctuary is inside the mountain. If we follow the old trail, we should be able to enter by the back gate.
All right. Let's go.
Ну что ж, давайте тогда на этом закончим. В следующий раз уже пойдем разъябывать этот гигакристалл, я надеюсь. Я думаю, часа за 2 там сможем или такие. А на этом все тогда.
As
was I. For 13 years, this rock was my home. I know its secrets only too well. This path was abandoned after an ether flood. They don't guard it anymore.
The perfect little shortcut.